All right, class. Welcome back to Fin 321. It's been a while. Hope y'all are doing well. So this is it. This is the structure of the class. I will work some problems, record short lectures, 15 to 20 minutes probably, and give you practice problems to work. So you can work these at your own time, watch the videos whenever it's most convenient for you. And like I said in the email, we will have live office hours on Wednesday morning just for your class. So feel free to jump into those anytime you like. You can come and go. If you have any questions for me, that'll be a live Zoom style class. And of course, email, phone calls, or we can set up a private meeting if you prefer. So utilize those. For today, we'll work through a couple new problems from the bonds worksheet. These are posted on Moodle. We've got two different worksheets posted on Moodle. The first one was what we worked on when we were last in class a few weeks ago. So we'll pick up where we left off, work through a few of those, and then there's a second worksheet that you haven't gotten yet that's on Moodle. So print those out or use those online and work through those problems as we go through them here. Moving forward, kind of schedule and next steps. Your next exam is going to cover chapters 5, 7, and 9. Okay, we haven't even started on 9 yet. Chapter 5 was all the uneven cash flows we worked through. Chapter 7 is what we're doing now, all the bonds. And then chapter 9 is going to be stocks and dividends. So we'll get there. As for the date, I don't know. We'll see how this goes with the online classes. I want to try to be as flexible as I can for you guys so that we can adjust as needed if we're behind or whatever. So we'll be pretty flexible with that. But your exam, like I said in the email, I'll post it on Moodle. You will either print it out or write it on a piece of paper, solve the exam, take a picture of it, and then you'll upload that back through Moodle. And we'll do a practice run to make sure everything's working well and we're all up and running and doing fine there. Okay, so I'll keep you posted on the date. It will not be this week. It probably won't be next week. If so, it'd be towards the end of next week. So we'll see. We'll just kind of see how the pace that we can cover it and how we're doing. All right, and I'll keep you posted. So let's dive into these problems. This is the first handout, Chapter 7 bonds on Moodle. We worked through 1 through 3 in class. So I'm going to pick up and work problem number 4, and I'll work a few others. Okay, quick recap of bonds and what all that information means. Remember, we had all of our time value of money keys. We have N, PV, FV, I/Y, and payment. Look back through your notes, but remember all this stuff. N, we're talking about the maturity date. When do these bonds mature? When are they over, right? Present value is the cost in the market today, their price, okay? Future value, that's the par value or face value, same thing. And then I/Y is your yield to maturity. That's the rate that they're getting in the market currently, including all of these coupon payments and that face value at the end. And then your payment refers to the coupons that you're receiving, okay? So just kind of quick recap of what all this stuff was. Make sure that your time periods, your yield to maturity, and your payments, these all need to be consistent. 6-month periods, annual periods, whatever it is, just get those consistent. And then remember your cash flows, right? We've got cash inflows and outflows. So make sure you adjust that and get those set up the right way. Okay, let's work number 4. Problem number 4 on that first handout. All right, so we're given the information. It says that Smiley Goods has $1,000 face value bonds. Okay, so we know that $1,000 is your future value. Semi-annual interest payments, 13 and a half years to maturity. So 13 and a half years, but it pays interest semi-annually. So make sure you adjust for the 6-month periods and make that 27. Market price, present value of 1,023. You can make that negative, so we pay that today in exchange for getting this face value later on in our coupon payments. All right, at this price, the bonds yield 6.5%. So that's your yield to maturity. Sorry, 6.4%. And again, adjust for semi-annual. So divide by 2. So you've got 3.2% here. And we're solving for the coupon rate. So what would our payment be? All right, so plug this in your calculator. You can pause now if you need to. Plug it in, see what you get. After you solve this, you should get coupon payment of $33.28. All right, remember, semi-annual periods. So this is going to be semi-annual also. So we're getting this dollar amount every 6 months. So multiply that by 2 to figure out how much we get annually. $66 and change. All right, and then to figure out, if you look at the question, we're looking for what must be the coupon rate on these bonds, not the dollar amount, but the actual rate. So we've got $66.56 paid each year in semi-annual payments, but we want to know the rate, so divide by 1,000. Just the opposite of what we normally do when figuring out coupons. So then we end up with 6.66%. Okay? All right, so try to work the rest of this side of the sheet. So that was number 4. Try to work 5, 6, and 7. Number 5 is asking for the current yield. We did one of those in class, so I won't redo it. Just look back. It's number 2 on this same sheet. So try those. Pause the video if you need to. Work those out now. And then I'll pick back up and let's do problem 8. Okay, number 8. We're solving for the amount of each coupon payment. Similar to the last problem, but now we want a dollar amount, not a rate. Okay, so we'll just set up the problem the same way. All right, and if you look at this problem, we're given all the information we need. We don't even need to use the time value of money here. Okay, we're given 6.5% bond, yield to maturity is given, matures in 7 years, face value of 1,000, semi-annual interest payments. Okay, so remember, to figure out payments, all we need to know really is the coupon rate and your face value, your future value. And we have both of those. It's 6.5%, 0.065%. All right, times 1,000. Because that's your face value. So you get $65. You're going to get that much annually. That's how it's quoted. So 65 divided by 2 is going to give you $32.50, which would be the amount of each coupon payment every 6 months. That's how much you'll get paid, right? Pretty straightforward. Okay, let's do number 9, solving for the market price of the bond. And then you try to solve the rest of this sheet on your own. Okay, for number 9, we're given a 4.5% bond, has a face value of $1,000, maturity of 7 years, semi-annual interest, yield to maturity 6.23%. Looking for the current market price. All right, current price is going to be the present value. That's the unknown. Okay, face value is 1,000. It's given here. Remember, even if this is not given, if it's left out, just assume 1,000. Maturity of 7 years. Semi-annual interest, so we need to adjust. Should make that 14. Yield to maturity, 6.23%. That's quoted in an annual rate, so we need to adjust that as well. And what else do we have? Payment, 4.5% bond. 4.5% times our face value of 1,000 gives us $45 annually. Divide by 2 to get our 6-month payments. $2,250. Okay, make sure everything's in the correct terms. This is semi-annually, semi-annual, semi-annual, so we're good. Check your cash flows. Our payment positive right now, future value positive, so we're solving for present value or the price today, so that should give you a negative number. Plug all this in, and pause the video, or just double check your answer here, and I got 903.05. And it'll spit it out as a negative, but you know that's just the price of the bond. Okay, that's number 9. All right, so work through the rest of these, number 10 and 11, and you can pause the video till you get through those. Then I'm just going to talk through some of the next section briefly to give you an idea how to solve that. Okay, so one other thing with bonds. Remember, a bond really is how a company or a government borrows money, large amounts of money. They can invest and do whatever they need to do with it, grow, expand, whatever they need the capital for. All right, so one aspect of bonds, there's lots of these different types of contracts and covenants within a bond, but one of them that we'll talk about is a call provision, which means the bonds are callable. Okay, so what that means is it gives the company the right or the option to pay it off early. They have the right to call the bonds. They can pay it off early. Typically, they have to pay a premium. Okay, and they'll also have to pay that face value. All right, so if you remember, think of your timeline. We have the price of the bond here early on whenever it was issued. Maybe it's $950, and you have all these coupon payments. And then at the end is that $1,000 face value, however long, 10 years from now. So maybe there's a call provision in 7 years. So at year 7, the bonds are callable, meaning the company can pay it off. They don't have to continue making all of these coupon payments and then the face value. They just call it right here. They'll go ahead and pay that $1,000 and whatever the premium is. So usually the premium is equal to 1 year of interest. Okay, it could be different, but just depends on the contract. So if the premium is equal to 1 year of interest, Remember, the interest that's being paid are all of these coupon payments. And these as well. So a year, if it's semi-annual, then you'd have 2 coupon payments would be the premium paid at this time. All right. So on your next handout, it's already posted on Moodle, Chapter 7, Bond Practice Problems 2, Handout 2. There's 4 more problems on there. Try to work through those. Number 4 is the toughest. This one is a callable bond. So you're going to solve for 2 different parts of it. The first is called the yield to call. The second we're looking for is the yield to maturity. All right, so the yield to call and yield to maturity. Yield to maturity you've already solved before. That's the I/Y. And you set it up just like normal. In this one, yield to maturity, assume the bonds mature and expire at the original date. Okay, so the bonds will carry on 10 years, 15 years, whatever the maturity date is. Then that face value is paid and it's done. Yield to call, you're still going to solve for I/Y. But now your cash flows will change. So think through when this is going to be paid, when that face value is paid, when the premium is paid. Are they paid at the same time? What would that look like? How many coupon payments are paid? So all of that will change on this yield to call. We'll still plug in everything in PV, FV, etc. But things change. The timeline changes. Things are different. So give that a shot. See if you can solve that. The next video I'll post will walk through it. It's a lot more in depth than what we've done so far, but it's the same tools. Use your time value of money keys. Think through the cash flows. Think through the timing of when all this stuff happens. All right, work on that, and I'll post another video later this week.